Hello, grade 6, and welcome to our fifth math session in our lesson, which is decimal fractions, fractional writing of a decimal number. Today, we are going to continue solving the exercises, starting with exercise 14. Write each of the fractions below as decimal fraction, then give its equivalent decimal number. Let's start with these fractions and writing them as decimal fractions. We said that decimal fractions are the fractions whose denominator is 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, and so on. Starting with the first one, we have in the denominator 4. So we have to multiply it by 25. If you multiply it by 25, you will get 25 over 100 times 25 in the denominator times 25 in the numerator. Okay, the answer will be 25 over 100. Now it's ready to write it as a decimal number. 25 over 100 will give me 0.25. Now look at the second one. The denominator is 5, so we have to multiply it by 2. Whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So the answer will be 4 over 10, which is ready to be written as a decimal number, will give me 0.4. Now look, it's 4 again. 4, and whenever you see 4, you have to multiply it by 25. Multiply the denominator by 25, and whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. So multiplying them by 25 will give me 750 over 100. Writing them as a decimal number will give me 7.50. Pay attention, in the decimal number, I can cancel this 0 here because it's unnecessary 0. Now look here, we have 25. Its friend is 4, so we multiply it by 4. Multiply the numerator and the denominator by 4, so we will get 392 over 100, and it's ready to be written as a decimal number, which will give me 3.92. The second one, 125, its friend is 8. So multiplying it by 8 and multiply the numerator by 8. The answer will be 4,224 over 1,000. We have 3 zeros here, and so the decimal point will enter 1, 2, 3 digits. So the answer will be 4.224. The last one, we have 250. The friend of 225 is 4. And if you multiply it by 4, 25 times 4 will give you 100. And we have an extra 0 here, so the answer will be 1000. 72 times 4 is 288. Writing them as a decimal number will give me 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Write the decimal point here, so it will be 0.228. Now let's start with the next exercise, which is exercise 16. Give the decimal number of the following fractions. Let's write them as a decimal numbers. We have 7 over 10, so the answer will be 0.7. 18 over 1000, 1, 2, 3. Here we have 1, 2. We have a missing digit, so we put 0. So the answer will be 0.018. 45 over 100 will give me 0.45. Why? 2 zeros, 2 digits in the decimal part, so the point will be here, 0.45. Here I have 65 over 10, 1 digit, so the answer will be 6.5. The last one, 6,475 over 1,000, 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3 digits, so the answer will be 6.475. Now let's start with part B, same question. As you can see here, part B, these fractions are not ready to be written as decimal numbers. First, we have to change them into decimal fractions, then write them as decimal numbers. So let's start. Okay, starting with the first one, which is half. Half, if you have to write it as a decimal fraction, 2 we multiply it by 5, multiply the numerator and the denominator by 5, and you will get 5 over 10. Now it's ready to be written as a decimal number, which will give me 0.5. The next one, 7 over 5. The friend of 5 is 2. 2 and 5 are friends, which help me to write as a decimal fraction. So the answer will be 14 over 10. 14 over 10, one digit, so the answer will be 1.4. Next one, 13 over 4. The friend of 4 is 25. So multiply the numerator and the denominator by 25. So we will get 13 times 25, which is 325 over 100 to give me 3.25. Now 13 over 10, the friend of 2 is 5. So we multiply the numerator and the denominator by 5 because we have to write the denominator as 10, 100, 1000 as powers of 10. So the answer will be 26 of 10. Now it's ready to be written as a decimal number, which is 2.6. The last one is 1 over 8. The friend of 8 is 125. So we multiply it by 125, but we are not done. We have to multiply also the numerator by 125. So the answer will be 125 over 1000 to give me 0.125. Okay, now let's start with the last exercise, which is exercise number 18. Write each of the following decimal numbers below as a decimal fraction, then reduce if it's possible. So, taking these decimal numbers, we have to write them as decimal fractions, then reduce. Reduce means simplify. Simplify means make division, if possible. Starting with the first one, 3.6 is equal to 36 over 10. These two numbers are even numbers, so they are divisible by 2. So dividing the numerator and the denominator by 2, you will get 18 over 5. Now let's look again on 18 over 5. Can we simplify more this fraction? No, because 18 and 5, they don't have a common divisor other than 1. So this is the simplest form of this fraction. Let's move to the second one, 0.03. It's written as 3 over 1. 2 zeros, it means 3 over 100. Can we simplify this fraction? The divisors of 3 are only 0 and 3, which is not from the divisors of 100. So this fraction is also the simplest form. I can simplify 100 but I can't simplify 3. And we said whatever we do to the denominator, we have to do to the numerator. And in this case, we don't have any common divisor. Let's move to the second one, which is 0.875. Write it as a decimal fraction. It's 875 over 1000. Now look, this numerator and denominator, they end with 0 or 5, so they both are divisible by 5. If you divide them by 5, you will get 175 over 200. They are also divisible by 5, so divide them by 5 because I have to find the simplest form. So if you divide them by 5, you will get 35 over 40. Now let's look again. They are also divisible by 5, so if you divide them by 5, divide the denominator also by 5, you will get 7 over 8. Now 7 over 8 is the simplest form. Now 0.72, it's 72 over 100. They are even numbers, so divide them by 2, divide this one also by 2, you will get 36 over 50. Now let's look. 36 ends with 6. This one, 50, ends with 0. So they are even numbers. So we divide by 2. Dividing them by 2, it means find their halves. It will give me 18 over 25. Now let's look again. The divisors of 18 are 1, 18, 2, 9, 3, 6. The divisors of 25 are 1, 25, 5 times 5, which is 5. So no common divisor between 18 and 25 other than 1. So this is the simplest form. Now look at the last one, 1.85, which is 185 over 100. Both ends with 0 or 5. So dividing them by 5, they are divisible by 5. So the answer will be 37 over 20. Let's look again. 37 has no divisors other than 1 and itself. Then this is the simplest form of this fraction. And we are done. By this, we finished our session and our lesson. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.